We had a crazy day in the stock market today, guys. Great day overall for the bulls. The S&P 500 went up 1.2% on the day. We had the NASDAQ come up over almost 1% more than the S&P, 2.2% in the green, as we had the Russell up 1.2% and the Dow up 0.8% as the VIX went down a little bit. And we had the metals, let's see here, silver down 1.6% as we had gold up 0.2%. So in this video, we're going to break down the markets and kind of why I'm a little bit skeptical here. If SPY and Triple Q don't break out of a key level here, we're going to break down those key levels in this video, and just in general, stocks that I'm looking at, what I'm doing in the market. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your water, and of course, we have the coffee on deck too, guys. You can't forget the coffee, and let's dive into the video. Hit that like button, make sure to subscribe. I appreciate you guys as always. So crazy day overall in the markets, right? Green all across the board, and a lot of stocks were crazy today. A lot of stocks were crazy. We had Tesla up 7.8% on the day, Nvidia up almost at $200. I mean, oh my goodness today, guys. Crazy, crazy day. So at this point, we can see the right shoulder is, trying to form here on SPY, which is great, meaning there could be some more upside in the short term. We're at about $400 right now. This could be going to 403, maybe 405 to 407. We're talking obviously general, numbers here. Looking at this chart, we can see back in the middle of November, throughout the middle of December, that's where kind of SPY was peaking at about 403 to 408, 410 even. But if it fails to break out of there, which, I mean, if you guys take a look, clearly we're still in a downtrend. If it fails to break out, let's say that right shoulder completes and we don't break 410, this could be dumping like no other, especially if earnings are a disaster. I mean, we have big tech coming up here. We don't really have any big ones today. I mean, I looked at the earnings calendar. Nothing's crazy, nothing crazy today that I want to talk about. But later this week, we have, I think actually tomorrow, we have Microsoft. Then we have the big tech names later this month, early February. This could be setting up for a disastrous drop. I mean, if you take a look here throughout the course of the bear market, we can see the rallies that we've had on SPY have been, there's been two significant ones, and one of them is now. We can see back in October, middle of October, we hit about 348 on SPY. You guys see that here on the yearly chart. And look at where we are now. We're at right about 400. It's up 15% off that 350 low. So in other words, the past couple months, guys, have not been that bad for the stock market. 15% in the past 2-3 months. Not that bad. And you can see here back in the middle of June, let's see how long this rally was. It went from 363 in a relief rally all the way to about 430. Look at that. That rally was roughly a little bit over 18%. So I'm not saying just because we had an 18% rally last time that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to, and we fizzled out after that 18% rally last time. Keep that in mind. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to fizzle out again this time, as we're almost up 16%, which is a lot, by the way, in a couple months. Doesn't necessarily mean that, but if earnings drop, or forget earnings for the last quarter, if guidance is off, that's what's really important. If guidance for these big companies, if it's looking rough for the next quarter, next couple of quarters throughout the course of the year, that's where this could be setting up for a bull trap. That's where this could easily get nailed, right? And we could start going back to that low. Maybe we don't take the low out, who knows, but we could start going 375, maybe lower than that on SPY. Maybe Triple Q, starts going to about, 270s, the 60s. And I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at this chart, guys, and be like, yeah, bears are still in charge. We're still in a downtrend. I mean, it's not like I'm discovering the cure to, an incurable disease here. This is just what I'm seeing on the chart. It's freaking obvious. But on the flip side, if this does take 410, 415 out, maybe earnings are better than expected, this could easily go in the other direction, which is why in the short term here, I'm being very cautious with my trading. I'm not gambling on any of these earnings. A lot of people comment on my videos here on YouTube, on TikTok even. Go to TikTok, follow me at Stas Talks Stocks. You guys will find me on there. I think my second account is Stas Surfes on there. I changed the names around a little bit because I didn't want anybody. So I changed my main TikTok from Stas Surfes to Stas Talks Stocks, but I didn't want to lose the Stas Surfes username. So I made my backup TikTok at Stas Surfes. So if you type in Stocks or Fest, it'll bring you to my backup account. But go to Stocks Talk Stocks on TikTok. Follow me on there. I think I have like 24,000 something followers, maybe a little bit less than that, whatever. Yeah, I've been talking about, and getting a lot of questions on there about, individual. I kind of lost my train of thought on that. But either way, go follow me on TikTok. I don't even know where I was going with that. That's a brain fart, guys. With earnings. Yeah, I get a lot of questions all the time like, Stas, are you going to gamble on earnings? We had Netflix last week, Microsoft this week, Tesla this week. Are you going to buy calls, buy puts, do this, do that? I'm not doing any of that, but once we get direction after these earnings come out in the next week, 10 days, I mean, this is it, guys. 2 weeks, really. The next 2 weeks are going to be huge. Once we start to see the direction of the overall market, kind of how the market digests things, then we're going to be able to be like, all right, was that a bear market rally? Was it is this going to be a legitimate breakout? Are we going to take 410 out? And then at that point, let's say we start taking 410 out, maybe we could ride the momentum on a good earnings season. Maybe SPY goes to 430 from there, right? That's kind of the way I'm looking at it, in the very short term. I'm not just looking to rush into it now and blindly, gamble on earnings, right? I've talked about that time and time again on the channel. And Triple Q, I mean, 300 is the big level. If 300 starts to reverse, we get good earnings. Guidance is strong. Maybe the Fed eases up. Well, they're already slowing down on the rate hikes, but let's say we get some good news from the Fed. I don't know, throwing some things out there, guys. This could start running 330. That could be the legit, big, nice rally. But even then, if we started to run towards 330, would still be in a downtrend. But if we broke 330, started going mid 300s, that's where this could really start to reverse. But we're not there yet, clearly, as we're seeing here on the charts. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below as always. And if you haven't gotten your free money from Moomoo yet or from Webull, I don't know what you guys are doing. You could get up to 15 stocks from Moomoo, each up to $2,000 using that link down below. Go read the details. All of them are down below. And you could also get up to 12 fractional shares from Webull with any amount deposited. Details linked down below if you guys want some free money and you want to help out the channel. And with that shameless plug, let's continue on here. So individual stocks today. What a day. I mean, we had Beyond Meat go up today. That's when it's, we're getting a lot of buying pressure, a lot of momentum. When Beyond Meat's up 12% on the day, look at this. I mean, this stock, I think, is hot garbage if we're looking at the fundamentals. But as a trade, I mean, it could swing a bunch. So, it could be tradable. I'm not saying to go buy it or trade it, but I'm saying at this point, if we do break $17 where we're actually testing right now, you guys can see that. That's a multi-month resistance. Who knows where this thing could be going? It could be filling the gap to $20, $21. There could be a lot more upside. Let's put it that way here on Beyond Meat. If we break $20, $21, could be flying even more from there. So, it's a crazy green day when Beyond Meat, momentum's really starting to kick in that one and some other ones. We had GameStop today, closed the day up 11%, and right now it's right around the 22, 23 level that we talked about in my last video, which I think if we break that, even though I still don't think we're going to go anywhere near all-time highs, like I've said in many other videos where I've talked about the meme stocks, I think we can still see a little bit of a rally. If 22.30 breaks, or 50 rather, $23, we could start pushing mid-20s, high 20s, who knows, maybe 30s again. I don't know. I don't want to jump the gun on that, jinx it, or I don't even care, to be honest. I have no stake in the game, no skin in the game on GameStop. But, of course, it's fun to track, fun to, talk about here on the channel. So we're going to be watching it for that reason. And wait a second, let me see this. Is this an inverse head and shoulders? It kind of is. You guys see that here? We have the left shoulder. If I pull this up, we have the left shoulder. We have the head right here. Right shoulder, you guys see that? So, yeah, I guess you could argue that is an inverse head and shoulders, but we still have to break $23 on GameStop. We had a 9% green day today on AMD. I mean, oh my goodness, look at that. AMD's also approaching a multi-month resistance at about $78, $80, where my alert's set. We have earnings coming up on this company, I think early Feb. Actually, no, the last day of January is when AMD is reporting. If we break $80, guys, man, oh man, that could really be taken off from that point, especially, again, with earnings. And, of course, it all comes down to earnings. We'll see how those numbers end up looking. And NVIDIA, look at this company, guys. NVIDIA today is officially taking out the highs from the middle of December. Unbelievable. And now it's up almost 100%. Well, not almost. Well, I guess you could say almost. 75%. Pretty dang close. Close to 100% from that 108 low that we hit back in the middle of October. Not to toot my own horn, but I did buy some NVIDIA, and I did trade it, and I made some money on it. But of course, like always, like a lot of the time, like most times when you trade, guys, it's impossible to catch the entire move. I mean, listen, I bought this at 120 thinking I was going to hold it as a long term, actually. But then it ran up so much in the short term, I was like, screw it. I'm going to sell it, take the profit. And I think I sold, if I remember correctly, in the 140s. And look at it now; it's at 190. I mean, if I held on now, I held on to it now. I would have been up way more. But of course, hindsight's 2020. We don't know the future. And as a trader, you got to realize, hey, you are not going to catch every move. You're not going to catch the entirety of the move, and you're not going to time the bottom, and you're not going to time the top 99% of the time. And I've told you guys on the channel before, there have been times where I've literally timed the bottom and timed the top, but that is 1 in 100, not even. I mean, 1 in 1,000, maybe not 1 in 1,000, but you guys get my drift. You know, it's very hard. It's impossible. It's not even part of the game that we're playing here as traders. We're not trying to time the top, the bottom. You know, we're trying to catch some of the move. You know, if the move is, in this case, NVIDIA, from 108 to 190, it's up 75%. If we're able to catch 5% of that, 10% of that as traders, 20%, who knows, 50%. I mean, depending on where you get in, get out, you know, your time horizon, whatever, we're doing our job if we're able to catch some of that. You know, so keep your eyes on NVIDIA. It's looking pretty decent now. Well, it's overbought, but a lot of momentum is coming in, so maybe it gets even more overbought. I mean, I don't know. You know, Square also ran up 7% today. Very strong day. This is starting to break out. Well, it is breaking out of $75. It went up over $80 on the day today, closed over 81. You guys can see we took the highs out from the past couple months. Square's at a multi-month high now. And, you know, it's overbought, but I have a feeling it's going to consolidate, maybe cool off in the lower, maybe not lower 70s, but mid-70s, mid-high 70s. And from that point, who knows, maybe it could start slowly filling the gap to about $90, $92, $93. That's where it could be going, you know, based on the chart, based on what I'm seeing, you know, personally here. So the next one that did pretty well today, and again, all these stocks, guys, for the most part, did well, is Chewy. 5% green day here for Chewy, and it looks like it's going to test the mid-40s again. Low, maybe higher 40s, maybe even low 50s, based here on the what I'm seeing here on the chart. So if I pull this up, you can even see an inverse head and shoulders kind of playing out. Not the most not the best looking one. I kind of butcher that, guys, but we do have an inverse head and shoulders on Chewy, and who knows, maybe this could start running towards that mid-high 40 again, you know, 40 mark, low 50s. That could be in the cards. Let's see what else here. Airbnb had a great day. What else is on the watch list here? Look at that. That's reversing out of the moving averages. We're seeing a golden cross there. That's a good sign in the short term for Airbnb. We had, of course, Netflix did well today. I'm tired of talking about Netflix, guys. We've talked about that every day pretty much here. Meta's starting to break out of $140. That's good. 3% green day for Meta. Looks like it could fill the gap now to about 150.55, which, not to toot my own horn again, but we call that out, do we not? I mean, we talked about that being the next gap. You know, it's not there yet, but it could. I think it could start running maybe 5-10 more bucks. I think it's definitely possible in my opinion. What else here? Foot Locker had a pretty decent day. Let's pull this chart up. Foot Locker kind of looks like Chewy. It's squeezing itself deeper and deeper into that ascending triangle. If I pull Chewy up, you guys can kind of see it's not the same exactly, but you know, there is an ascending triangle argument. Actually, no, this might be more of a wedge now. Yeah, it's more of a wedge now. But either way, Foot Locker, ascending triangle. If we could plow through $40, $41 on this, I'm telling you guys, we could be seeing even more upside on Foot Locker. Let's do an update on BBY. Let's see what BBY is doing. Cup and handle still intact. $87 alert is still intact as well. That needs to break. We're at 84. Best Buy had a 2% green day. We got to get above $87. You know, if $87 could break, we start taking the high out from early December, mid-August, mid-late May. That's going to be very good. Very, very critical for Best Buy. And if you guys haven't hit that like button, by the way, if you guys have not hit that like button, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. I think 40% of you guys are not subscribed. If that's you watching and you tune in, you watch the channel and you're not subscribed, why? What are you doing? Make sure to subscribe, and let's see what other stocks ended up moving today. Google actually closed over $100. Let's go, baby. Google is my biggest individual stock holding, if you guys didn't know, and it's doing very well. It hit $83 a couple months ago. Now it's back over $100. Not saying we're going back to all-time highs, but the rally has been nice. It has been nice for sure, but keep in mind, still in a downtrend. Like a lot of the big tech stocks, like the overall indexes, still in a downtrend here for Google, no doubt about it. Same with, look at the big tech names, guys. Apple, still in a downtrend. Amazon, downtrend. Meta, you guessed it, downtrend. Microsoft, you guessed it, downtrend. It's just what's going on right now. It's just the reality of the matter. So that's pretty much it, guys. We talked about a bunch of stocks in this video. We broke down the markets, kind of some thoughts, and some, just some concerns of me being cautious, very cautious here heading into these earnings, and you probably should be too. Well, I don't want to tell you what to do. I don't want to freak you out, or this is not fear-mongering. I'm just keeping it real. So if you guys found value, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Don't forget to get all your free stocks linked down below, up to 15 stocks from Moomoo and up to 12 fractional shares from Webull. Use those links down below. Check out the Patreon as well if you want. And if you want 50% off your first year with Seeking Alpha Premium, check it out. Seeking Alpha link down below as well. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.